Yeah, some people are gonna be a little mad at this movie, I think. Hey, Twisted People, it's your Twisted Woman here, Chauncey K. Robinson. And today I am doing a trailer breakdown and reaction of the latest Candyman 2021. Is it coming out? I think it's 2021 that it's coming out. I think they decided to do 2021 of Candyman, the remake, the reboot, the reinvigoration of Candyman that we are getting. They released the latest trailer, and I wanted to kind of go through the trailer. But before we get into that, let me know, comment down below, are you excited about this Candyman reboot, do and all that stuff? Are you excited about it? Do you think they just need to leave it alone because the classic is the classic and it's the only one we ever need? And what are your general thoughts on horror remakes? I think it can be hit and miss, but I want to know what y'all think. So comment down below, let me know. So let's get into it right now and see what this one's about.
This is where it all began. The story of Candyman. Local character, he walk around handing out candy to the neighborhood kids. One day, a couple of kids get razor blades in their candy. Police come around.
Okay, so I think it's pretty obvious. We see where this may be heading to, right, y'all? Police coming around, black man. Yeah, and looking online, I know some people were already sort of having issues with it because it seems from this trailer so far, it would seem that we're not having the same kind of origin story for Candyman. And in fact, I actually might have misspoke because I called it a remake, but it's not actually a remake, right? I think my understanding is that this is a continuation, so that it couldn't necessarily be a complete remake where they're like rebooting the whole thing. Or is it? I mean, they told us one thing, but things happen in production. Maybe it turned into a reboot. Maybe they're redoing the origin story of the Candyman, which I wouldn't want to see because I do love Tony Todd, and I don't think you have to erase what happened back in like 1600, 1700 or whatever like that. And to make what may be happening with another version of a Candyman in order to do it. I think they can be connected, right? Maybe they're part of the same history. Maybe Candyman is an entity more than just one specific identity, right? So it's going to get a little uncomfortable, right? Because we got cops and a black man, so we know where that might be heading.
That's when I saw the true face of fear.
Get on your knees. Hands, hands, hands.
They beat him, tortured him, killed him right there on the spot. A couple weeks later, more razor blades and more candy. He been innocent.
So he's real?
Candyman ain't a he. Candyman's the whole damn hive.
All right, so I like that. It does, it throws me off a little bit because, once again, I think the main crux of this is, are we going to make Candyman's origin story an idea of like police brutality? Is that what we're doing with this one? And are we erasing the original Candyman or the Candyman before this Candyman? Because if he's telling this story, that kind of makes me think that that's the story that we have, as opposed to people telling the other story of the Candyman that we got, which was about an enslaved man who had like an affair with a white woman, and then he was burned alive, and like they put bees on him, and which nothing that said thus far mentions anything about bees, right? So, I mean, because that was the thing about the original Candyman. One of the ways he was killed and tortured was because of the honey and the bees, and they all stung him to death, right? That was part of it, right? His hand was cut off and the bees and the honey was put on, and it was, pretty messed up. They don't seem to be going that route, which is why I stick with my theory. And the theory I've heard other people say that this might just be more so an addition to the folklore of things. So.
If you're out here looking for Candyman, you ask me, stay away.
I feel really connected to this story.
God.
right here in this neighborhood. The legend started. And the legend is, if we say his name 5 times while looking in the mirror, we could summon him.
Summon the Candyman.
Hell no.
Candyman.
Anthony, no.
Candyman.
Stop.
I don't want to get creeped out in my new apartment before bed.
Candyman.
Black people don't need to be summoning.
I know that's right.
I dare you.
Don't say that.
Say his name.
Candyman.
You better not do that last one.
Candyman. You want to be a part of the story, right?
No.
Say his name. Candyman.
So what I'm getting is that the one that's haunting him, though, isn't Tony Todd's Candyman. That's what I'm getting. I'm getting it's the guy who died because of the police brutality thing. Does that mean that they've gotten rid of Tony Todd's Candyman? I don't think so. Maybe just for this one, he's the most immediate Candyman that like inherited the mantle. So maybe he was the next one after the first Candyman, which was Tony Todd's Candyman. And then this guy is doing it because he inherited the mantle. Maybe the next one is this guy who seemingly so far seems to be getting haunted by the guy who died of police brutality. That's what I'm getting so far. Not saying I love that, but it's yeah, that's what I'm getting so far.
Anthony?
Ugh.
Anthony. Are you okay?
Anthony.
What the hell is going on?
This neighborhood is haunted.
I think I made a mistake. I brought him back.
Candyman isn't real.
He chose you. He has purpose for you.
Tell everyone. New to the neighborhood. You should say it.
Candyman.
Say his name.
Okay, so that voice, kill everyone. That sounded like Tony Todd, right? Right? That sounded like Tony Todd to me. Let me know in the comment section. Do you think that sounded like Tony Todd? I think that sounded like Tony Todd. So he's in there somewhere. Yes, I'm still excited for this movie. I think, however they do it, it's very clear that they thought it through. I think it's interesting that they're connecting it to the police brutality aspect. Do I think that may upset some people? Because, I think it depends. I think there are some people who feel like, here's a movie about that has a predominantly Black cast, so that have to have this kind of aspect to it that we deal with every day. But at the same time, Candyman, the original series, dealt with this. It dealt with the question of the history of racism and slavery and things like that. I would agree with the whole thing of why do we have to have police? If it was any other kind of movie, right, that just happened to have a Black cast. But if you're going to have it where you're taking on the mantle of Candyman, then it has to kind of be in that same vein. It has to kind of be dealing with those things because that was the spirit, that was in the spirit of the first one. So I'm not mad at it. I know some people feel some type of way. Let me know. Do you think, because I know there's been this backlash against what people think is like woke horror, in the sense of people feeling like woke horror is sometimes just like too much, in the sense of it, like it bludgeons us over the head, for lack of a better term, with, kind of being preachy in a way, kind of taking you out of it and not having the good balance. Because I'm all about messaging and commentary. If you know this channel, that's what I be about. But, I think it has to be done with a balance of a way to still be entertaining, right? And some movies that we've seen in the last couple of years have been more, a little bit more throwing the message at you and not a little bit less on the entertaining and kind of not having that balance. I don't think we'll have to worry about this with this Candyman. If I go by what this trailer showed, I am still greatly entertained. And I do think even with the aspect of the police brutality, which is poignant, that it will be something worth checking out.